Hey guys, my name is Gloria and welcome back to my channel. I am a dumbass. I uploaded a video yesterday or the day before about some of my reading plans for February and what I was going to read, and I completely forgot that it is Women in Horror Month and it's also Black History Month, which normally for me and my reading habits means reading horror books by black women. So I have an update. So I will be reading my usual review books that I have to review, that I promised to review for this month. But I also want to just take the time to enjoy some books by and about black women as well. So I do have a couple on my physical TBR, so I'll be glad to get a few books off of that. The first one is one that I bought last year. It's My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. I saw this all over social media last year. I love the cover. It's about a woman who is a serial killer and her sister has to clean up after her, I think, and try and keep her from getting caught, so that should be interesting. I also have White is for Witching by Helen Oyeyemi. I picked this up last year. I'm not sure what drew me to it other than just the fact that it seems to be something to do with witches, and I do like the cover, so I'll be glad to get into that. Not entirely sure what it is about. Yeah, so it seems to be a bit of a magic mystery kind of book. I'm excited to read that one. The next one was not written by a black woman, but it was written about a black woman. And it's the true story of the immortal life of Henrietta Lacks. I first heard of Henrietta Lacks from a Radiolab podcast. It's an American podcast. Do a lot of educational science type stuff. Henrietta Lacks and her cancer cells changed the face of modern medicine. As far as I can remember, she unfortunately died of cervical cancer, very aggressive cervical cancer, and they took cancer cells from her without her consent or knowledge or any idea that the family had either, and it was the first cell that kept growing in lab circumstances. They've been trying to repeatedly grow and multiply cells for a long time, but it wasn't until her cells that it just kept growing. And this changed a lot of things in modern medicine. I'm not going to pretend I know I can remember the whole podcast now, but it's very interesting. In the podcast they also talked a bit about her family and their circumstances and how they came to know that this was happening. I think one of the bits that sticks with me is that when they only found out 20 years later, and one of her daughters was an adult at that time, and they just told her that they had been cloning her mother's cells, and they never explained exactly what that meant. So she used to have a lot of anxiety thinking that she would walk outside one day and see someone who looked exactly like her mother, which wasn't what they were doing at all, but they never took the time to explain that to the family or anything. But I'm interested to learn more about the actual woman behind the HeLa cells, which is what they were called, so that will be interesting. I also have a few that I'm going to be reading on Kindle. I get paid on Friday, so rip to my bank account, but I will be buying these in e-version just because they wouldn't get here in February otherwise. So I will be reading The Good House by Tananarive Due. I read one of her books last year that was very good. Cannot remember what it was called, but it was very interesting. It was about a sort of dream world that was encroaching on reality. That one was really good. I'm also going to be reading Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler. I haven't read any of her stuff before, but this one sounds really interesting. I believe it's about a young girl who has some strange physical attributes, and she begins to realize that she's actually like a 50-year-old vampire and she has to deal with that. I'm also going to be reading The Deep by Rivers Solomon. This is a fictionalized tale based on real events of how pregnant slaves used to be thrown overboard in transit, and this is about those pregnant slaves turning into mermaids. And because the memories of the time before that were so horrifying, one person in the tribe, the clan, whatever you want to call it, is the only person who is tasked to remember these things. So that one is going to be harrowing, I'm sure, but very good read. I'm also going to be reading Berserk by Jessica Guess. I did see this a lot last year. I was drawn to it mainly because of the roller skates on the cover. I myself am a roller skate enthusiast, not very good at it, but that's not going to stop me. So I'm going to enjoy that one. And then a thriller that I'm going to read is When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. I saw a lot about this book last year as well. It's about the gentrification of what was a black neighbourhood, and how some of the black inhabitants have started to go missing, I think. And I've heard actually some really good reviews and really bad reviews of that, so I'm gonna go in and see how I feel about that one myself. But I think that is a good lot of books that I am happy to get through for this month, for Women in Horror Month and Black History Month. I'll also be watching a lot of black horror movies. I've got a few recommendations of Black history documentaries from someone on TikTok that I am excited to learn from as well. If you have any suggestions of any non-fiction books or history books related to women in horror or black women or black history in general, I will absolutely add those to my TBR, because I definitely should be reading more of those. That's just a quick update. The books that I said I was going to read in my last video, I will be reading those probably in March. I will get around to them. I just thought it was a good excuse to push me to read some of these ones anyway for this month. So thank you so much for joining me. If you like what I'm doing here, you can like and subscribe down below, and I shall see you in the next video.